Okay, welcome to taxorganizer.biz. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to obviously operate your tax organizer account. So we're going to go ahead and just get signed in here to our demo account. Okay, and once we have signed into our tax organizer demo account, you'll see you're looking at the same page again, but you'll notice a few links just across the top here. And obviously the one we're going to be focusing on is my business, but just a quick FYI, reports link is obviously to pull reports out of your tax organizer account either in CSV or Excel format. And then obviously this is to manage your tax organizer account. And then log out is self-explanatory, but we're going to go click on my businesses. This is where we're going to set up and keep track of all of our business expenses. And as you can see to the right here, this is a little welcome to your tax organizer back office field, and we're going to keep you updated with any of the latest changes, any updates there may be, if we're running any special promotions in our online store for all of our subscribers, and then some educational content will be held there as well. But in interest of time, let's get into this. I'm going to click on Add a Business and scroll down. Now my business name is just going to be Demo LLC, okay? And we're going to do a PO box here for the address, okay? And just do and the tax ID number, we're just going to do that. Now, business entity type, you're going to list what or how this business is obviously filed with your state. So if it's a limited liability company, I'm going to go ahead and put in limited liability company. Okay, if it's an S corporation or a C corporation, then that's what I'm listing. Now you can see I just clicked on add the business, and it's showing there right now. Now I can edit the information I just added by simply clicking on edit, but going to go into view. Okay, this is going to show me all the different expenses that I have with my Demo LLC. You can see I've got expense groups here. I've got tracking of my travel, properties. This is great for real estate investors and obviously agents, and then mileage groups, make things a little easier. So obviously with interest in time here, I'm not going to be able to cover each one of those groups in this tutorial, but we'll start off with our expense groups. So I'm going to click on View All. Now what Tax Organizer basically recommends is to break your expense groups down by month. Okay, that's what we suggest. Obviously, if you find a way that works for you, great, you can do that. But I'm going to go ahead and add an expense group. And since we're in August, I'm going to do August 2011. And obviously the month's already selected. We're going to go to the 1st. And now the last day of the month of August, and click Submit. Now you'll see that August 2011 expense group is now submitted. It's in our tax organizer account, and I can edit the information I just put in by clicking in Edit, or click in Detail, and this is going to give me all the expenses in this group. Now for those of you either using a smartphone application, obviously when you add an expense, you'll be selecting your expense group, what type of expense it is, snap a picture of the receipt, and it'll all sync to your back office and obviously itemize and file correctly. Now we're going to add an expense. This description, I'm just going to put this is a meeting, okay, and I met with Joe Schmo, if I could spell it, okay, and let's say we just went to kept it cheap, went to McDonald's, and the purpose was maybe it was a marketing meeting, okay, and the cost was $12.97. The date we've got good there, and this was obviously a meal, okay. I'm going to go ahead and choose a file. I'm going to take just an image that I have here and choose the image. Now obviously if you're adding some of your expenses through the website, the images do need to be in JPEG format. If you're adding this all just from your smartphone application, obviously your little camera is going to take the picture in JPEG format and sync it here, so you're not going to have any problems. Now I can view all the details of this transaction simply by doing that click. If I want to view a large image of the receipt, just click on the receipt. And that is really it for expense groups. Obviously, to add more expense groups, I just do the same thing I've been doing, or the same thing I just showed you, and like I said, break it down by month, and you'll be set. Now I can return back to my business page here. This is going to take me to my demo LLC. I can view that expense group I just added, also a total of what I've spent that month. Total, obviously this is for tax deductible expenses. Now, when I take a business trip, obviously there needs to be some separation there because the tax deductions are a little bit different. So I'm going to set up a business trip group here. So I'm going to add a trip. Okay. So going to go ahead, and my trip description is maybe Las Vegas meeting. Okay. And who am I meeting with? Let's say, Joe Schmo lives up in Las Vegas. It's my turn to head down to where he is, and it's going to be in Las Vegas. And the trip purpose again might be meeting on affiliate marketing. Okay, obviously there's a business purpose for this event, and so the date on this, we're going to keep it August, but let's say I'm going to start my trip on the 20th. It's going to be an overnight trip, okay, and we'll be back on the 14th. And I'm going to go ahead and create that. Oops, my bad. Okay, so we're starting on the 20th. There we go. And going to go ahead and create that trip. Okay, so we've got the trip here. To view all the details with this trip, I'm going to go ahead and just click on details. Now, if I'm traveling, I live in Utah, obviously it's driving distance, and if I'm obviously driving, I'm going to track my mileage just here. So let's say I started off with 25,200 miles, and by the time I got done with my trip and I got back home, let's say we were at 26,000 miles. Okay, and obviously we'll just submit that. Okay, so you'll see now it's going to calculate my mileage for this trip. Okay, now to add a trip expense, I'm going to go back here. Now obviously because we've got all this information here, we don't require that you add or re-add information. Okay, so we've got all of that. All we really need is now the description. And let's say this was we'll just go with the meal again, and we ate at some buffet place and it cost us, let's say, $52. Okay, obviously the type of expense here is going to be meals. Okay, and we're going to have to set the date, let's say, for the 21st. Going to just choose a random image here again. Okay, and create. Give it 1 second, and now we see our expense. Now obviously I'm going to be eating more than just once on this, so I can add more expenses here, but maybe I had a laundry expense with the hotel. Okay, and that was $32. Okay, and that was, let's say, also on August 21st. Again, gonna choose an image here, create. So you'll see that all of my expenses are listed within this trip group. That is about all the time I've got. Check back, we'll be doing other tutorials, and we just wish you best of luck with tracking your expenses.